medicine with babies, toddlers, and big kids. I'm Tara Gregorio, certified women's herbal educator with Dr. Aviva Ram, and a trained homeopathic student with Pika Trenkel on acute remedies. So, when your child has current symptoms, how do we deal with it versus a constitutional remedy? So, when you work with a trained homeopath, they will help you with constitutional remedies. So, what we'll cover today is why I use homeopathic medicine, why I love it so much, the 4 mistakes we all make when we start using it, what exactly is homeopathy, the 5 steps to make it work for you every time, how to offer it to babies, toddlers, and big kids, things that interfere with homeopathy, and some resources for you to purchase so you can continue learning about homeopathy. So, why am I so in love with homeopathy? It's quick and efficient when you know how to use it right. And when you get that remedy right, it is such a great feeling. It can work within 20 minutes. One of my most popular videos is how to stop a croup cough in 20 minutes. So, when you know how to use the remedy and you get it right, boom, your child recovers very fast. It's soothing and can take away anxiety for the whole family, and it really can do no harm when used correctly. So, some big mistakes we make, we buy the wrong dose. So, keep in mind 6C or 30C is really the safest potency to purchase. We don't tend to watch and wait. We're so used to giving more, where actually less dosing is best. So, if you just pause, watch, and wait, that is the best way to use homeopathy. We want to be a keen observer, so we want to write down all the strange and rare symptoms your child's experiencing because that will guide you to the right remedy. And we don't really know how to use these little sugar tablets. So if the symptoms increase, we get scared or we don't stop using them. And I'm going to show you exactly how to use homeopathic medicine today. So, what exactly is homeopathy? It's a system of alternative medicine created in 1796 by Samuel Hahnemann based on his doctrine, like cures like, a claim that a substance that causes the symptoms of a disease in healthy people would cure similar symptoms in sick people. It's made from minerals, plants, animals, and even poisons of animals and bees. For example, if you have poison ivy, the remedy for poison ivy is Rus toxicum, which is made from poison ivy. So, how is homeopathic medicine made? The first stage is to create a tincture, if you're familiar with herbal tinctures, called the mother tincture. Then it's diluted, so 1 drop of that tincture into water, and then it's succussed or hit downward 10 times. The mineral material is titrated and repeatedly diluted and shaken. So it's consistently diluted. So that 1 drop in the water, then you take another drop out of that bottle into water, it's succussed and shaken, and that drop into another. So it really is water based. This process of diluting and succussing is called potentization. The potentized homeopathic medicine is then added to lactose tablets or pills. So they're very sweet, and children often don't mind taking them, which is another reason it's really great. And if you purchase the really small sugar tablets, they're easy to slip into a baby's mouth, and they certainly cannot choke on it. But how does it really work? So this is up for discussion, but it's the more a remedy is diluted and succussed, vigorously shaken, the stronger it becomes as a cure. Hence why I want you to purchase 6C or 30C instead of, say, a 1M remedy, because the more it's diluted, the stronger the remedy is. Come back to me if you went away. The more it's diluted, the stronger it is. So one theory is the succussion creates an electrochemical pattern which is stored in the diluent and spreads like liquid crystals throughout the body. So if our body is made of mostly water, it's affecting the imprint of our water structure. A second thought, that the dilution process triggers an electromagnetic imprint, which affects our electromagnetic field of the body. So how it exactly works is not crystal clear, which is why there's so much discussion over whether homeopathy truly works. But when you experience it, then you know it works. So the exact 5 steps for using homeopathy for acute situations is to, number 1, be a keen observer. Within my course, Home Remedies for Children, there's a repertorizing sheet where you can download and start documenting your child's symptoms. Now, you're an observant parent, so you would know when your child's symptoms change and when they're unique and different. So, for example, if they want to cover their head, that is one symptom of a homeopathic remedy. If they want to be held because they're teething, that's a symptom for chamomile. So once you learn and start observing your child and writing these unique symptoms down, then you can choose the right remedy. So ideally, it's one remedy, one dose, let's say. But often we can't find that one remedy because of time or misdiagnosing. So sometimes you'll see products with 5 different remedies in the product because they're just trying to pinpoint one remedy for your child. Then you watch and wait. I say about 20 minutes or so. Ideally, the symptoms should spike. We're going to go over that in a moment. And then they should resolve. Minimal dose means 1 dose, watch and wait, possibly a second dose, watch and wait. That may be all you need. I wouldn't go over, say, 4 dosing in a day. You may have the wrong remedy. So it's a minimal dose. Instead of taking medicine every 4 hours or 6 hours, you're looking for the symptoms to guide you. And last, symptoms should move outward. For example, you give a dose of homeopathic medicine, the child vomits or has diarrhea, and then the symptoms resolve. That would be a good thing, and that would be you choosing the correct dose. It's very unlike medicine that we typically use, right? So, for example, we'll go over this in greater detail, these 5 pieces, and I'll give you more examples. So be a keen observer. Let like be cured with like. Any substance that makes you ill can also cure you. So if you really love homeopathy, look for purchasing a copy of Materia Medica, and you will start understanding the remedy based on either your symptoms or your child's symptoms. Write down every symptom that you see and be a keen observer. Choose one remedy. Ideally, you're just choosing one remedy based on your child's symptoms. Sometimes you'll see these packaged homeopathic remedies and they have several remedies within them. Again, like I just said, they're trying to find that one remedy based on your child's symptoms. Watch and wait. This is the hardest part. Wait 20 minutes and then you might repeat the remedy. For example, go ahead after this training, watch my croup video. After you give that first dose of aconite, the child should go to sleep if it's the right remedy. You may have to give one more dose of aconite if the whole family is really in fear and excited over this, fearful breath. So you may have to give one more dose, but really the child should go to sleep. That would mean it's the right remedy. If they did not go to sleep or you chose the wrong remedy, then then it was the wrong remedy, basically. So you should see a change or a shift move outwards. Number 4, less is more. Minimal dose always. So For example, you could give your child, I don't suggest doing this, but let's say you as an adult could take the whole bottle of the homeopathic medicine. That's considered one dose. So that one dose is not what you typically want to do, but the point is that bottle is safe. What is more harmful is you giving a remedy every 20 minutes all day long, because that would be maximum dosing and create really bad symptoms. So less is more, and the amount of pills that you offer, one should be enough, but sometimes I just give two just in case. We're going to talk about how to offer it as well. The symptoms should move outward. As someone becomes well, symptoms move from the innermost organs out. Cure moves from within to without, from above to below, and clearing to hands and feet, and ends with possibly a skin eruption. So if your child has eczema and you choose a remedy for eczema, the eczema may get worse and then it should clear. Now, if the eczema got worse and you got scared and started putting on some lotions to suffocate the skin, then that would not be supporting the healing process. One more story of this. One day I was in New York City. I felt really sick. I took some ginger to get me home. I was able to consume the ginger. And then when I got home, I took a homeopathic remedy. My fever spiked. It went up to like 104. And then I believe I vomited. And then I was better. And that was a symptom of the correct remedy. That is an example of choosing the correct remedy. It's very unlike our medicine. We don't want to see our children sick or us sick, but this would be correct choosing of the remedy. Symptoms that have been suppressed in the past often resurface during the process of cure and do so in the reverse order. Welcome the old suppressed symptoms to be cleared out. So it's very common that an old symptom will return, and you want it to clear out from above to below, from within to without. Now, if someone started coughing more, that would be a bad sign. That would be an example of choosing the wrong remedy. So I created this little chart years ago from Pika Trenkel's course, and I just thought it was amazing. Homeopathy can cure your symptoms fast when you choose the right remedy, compared to conventional medication may take longer, and herbs might take, not as long, but I like to use the combination of herbs and homeopathy. So that's why within my course, Home Remedies for Children, I combine both of them, because often you do need both herbs and homeopathy to help support the body in its own innate healing. So again, to reiterate, to summarize, you want to be a keen observer. You're writing down the unique symptoms that you see. You're choosing one remedy. You're watching and waiting. Less is more, and symptoms should always move outward. And once you see those symptoms move outward, stop the remedy, stop the dosing. So the biggest mistake we make is purchasing the wrong potency. So there's two scales, the decimal, which is X, and centesimal, which is C. Less is more in homeopathy. So the decimal, or the X, is more dilute, but it's also more potent, and therefore deeper acting than, say, 6X. So 30X is stronger than 6X. The benefit of 6X is that it requires less precision and selection and can be ideal for light, repeatable dosing. The idea that a remedy is stronger the higher its dilution is confusing, right? All of this is confusing. But to be safe, think of purchasing 6C, 12C, or 30C compared to X's or M's, because of their dilution and the ability to precisely locate which remedy is correct. Provings, the name given to the homeopathic method of testing substances to establish their symptom pictures. All symptoms, physical, emotional, and mental, are noted in great detail in the Materia Medica. And I'll give you, on the last slide, will be the book that I suggest you purchase. Hundreds of remedies are arranged alphabetically and according to the body area, and your goal is to try to memorize the keynote of each remedy. What I've noticed personally is the first thing to shift is your mental or emotional state. For example, I have twins. They both were teething and screaming and wanted to be held. So each of their remedy was different based on their own personality. For example, I think it was my son wanted to be held. The moment I gave him chamomilla, he settled down, stopped crying, and played by himself so I could make dinner. Now, my daughter's symptoms were different. She didn't want to be held. She was red in the face. She was screaming. So she was more of a belladonna child. And I gave her one dose, and she was able to settle down. So look for your emotional or mental state to shift first, or even your child's emotional mental state. And often that affects the whole family. So sometimes I'll give my children one dose of something, and everybody just gives this big exhale, this sigh of relief, because it releases that tightness of anxiety and stress that comes along with someone being sick in the house. So the vital force, balancing mechanism that keeps us in health. It's an energetic substance that gives us life and is absent in our death. Our soul, or joy de vivre, or joy of life. Healthy living being is self-regulating with an innate tendency to maintain its equilibrium and can compensate for disruption or changes. Homeopathic medicine acts as a catalyst. It's the remedy stimulating the body's own vital force to heal itself. So how do we give this to ourselves, our family members, to our children? And the two slides, we're going to talk about particularly babies and toddlers, but to give to an adult or yourself, you would tip the tablet into the lid of the bottle, and then you would throw your head back and put the remedy in your mouth without really touching it. I should do a video on this. Maybe I will on Instagram. So you're trying not to touch the remedy. Then you would place it under your tongue and just suck on it for a while rather than chewing it and swallowing it. So you want to keep it in your mouth for a while. The goal is try not to touch the remedy. And it's not that anything bad will happen, but they think that whomever will touch it will take on that energy. So for example, if I'm offering it to my children, but I touch the remedy, then I may take on the properties of the remedy and may prove it. So proving means that I'm now going to show the symptoms of that remedy. Try not to eat, drink, or brush your teeth for 10 to 20 minutes before or after taking a remedy. And you really want to wash any item that you use, like a cup or a spoon, wash it thoroughly with hot water to try to remove the properties of the remedy. You can also crush the tablets and put it in water to offer to babies. Then sometimes I would crush it, put it in water, then use a syringe to administer it to the child. So we used syringes a lot because that's typically what babies will use, babies and toddlers, but we're syringing the water with the crushed up tablet so that the toddler will accept the medicine right away. So babies, you can crush the tablet like we just spoke about and tip it dry on the tongue would be fine. I even once, when my daughter was sleeping, I rolled a small homeopathic remedy into her mouth when she was sleeping for a cough, and she didn't choke. She just chewed on it and swallowed it. So be careful with that. But the point is that they dilute very easily, and they're soft, and they're easy to give to children. You could dilute the small sugar pill in water or a bottle, and then again use a syringe or a sippy cup to give it to them. But you do want them to get the full dose, so make sure you're using the syringe for them. You could also dilute it in their sippy cup, but remember that remedy, that potency stays in the sippy cup. Place on a spoon to eat, and toddlers can put in their mouth with a spoon. So depending on their unique symptoms, I have once in a while put it in their water bottle for the day, but often I just want to make sure that they've received the remedy, so I make sure they're getting the full amount. As they get older, you could just tip it in their mouth and they can suck on it and chew on it. So things that used to interfere with homeopathy, some are not as true, and I'll mention that, like coffee may, for adults may or may not interfere. But for children, anything with peppermint, like Tiger Balm, if you happen to be using that, Blistac, Vicks is probably more popular with kids, some shaving creams. So you're looking for things with really potent smells, electric blankets, and certain holistic therapies. So if your child happens to be doing acupuncture, cranial sacral, try not to use it in conjunction with homeopathy. Additionally, strong odors, which is why you don't want to brush their teeth at the time of the remedy. So wait 30 minutes or an hour for eating, drinking, chewing gum, brushing teeth. For adults, smoking. Major dental work, coffee and stimulants, and for adults, street drugs and marijuana. So that would interfere with the property of homeopathic medicine. So some tips: prescribe according to urgency, right? So you're looking at those symptoms. Stop when the symptoms improve, or actually they may get worse, but just allow the body to let it come out. Start again if the same symptom returns, but you may have to change the remedy if the person's symptoms have changed. If you have given 6 doses and have had no response, stop and reassess. And I would even say 3 to 4. 6 is probably too high. Change the remedy if the symptoms change. Always seek professional help if your symptoms recur or do not improve. So your symptoms are an expression of need and a call from help for your body. So any pain in your body, any pain or symptoms your children are experiencing, is just a call for help, a call for rest usually. You need a remedy picture to make an accurate diagnosis, and it doesn't have to be identical, just similar. So look for the biggest change in your child. Hear that again. Look for the biggest change in your child. So if your child typically doesn't like milk but now wants a glass of milk, that's a unique symptom, and you would highlight that. And the symptoms should match the materia medica. So it takes years, I'm telling you, years to learn how to use this. And you're just doing the best that you can, which is why these remedies with 5 different remedies in them, these products with 5 different remedies in them, is really good, because it's really hard to pinpoint what your child needs. So these are some questions to ask, and they're also in your handout when you join Home Remedies for Children. So your first impression: what do you smell? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? Babies and children cannot describe what they're feeling, so you need to be especially observant. Do they have one cheek red? Do they have 2 cheeks red? Do they have snot coming out of their nose? What color is the snot? What time do they wake up at night? Is it midnight? Is it 2 a.m., 3 a.m.? Time is really important when it comes to remedies. Are they teething? What do you see or smell? Is your child hot or cold? I often put my lips to their forehead. Do they look happy or sad? So you're just taking notes as to what shift your child has had. Smell is usually the first thing you notice. Like, what do they smell like? What does their breath smell like? Their head, their neck? Is it sour? Is it different? Take notes. And what do you see? So cheeks and coloring of cheeks is really important when it comes to teething remedies or cough remedies. So are they red? Are they white? What color are they? Are they hot? Are they cold? Do they want their head covered? Are they chewing on something? So these are all symptoms to help choose the correct remedy. Are they clammy? Is their feet on fire, but their head is cold? Like, it sounds silly, but these are the unique symptoms to find the remedy. Are they moaning, grinding their teeth? Do they stop crying when you hold them? Do they not want to talk? That's another big one. Do they scream when you put them down? These are the unique symptoms you're looking for. If your child's old enough, you can say, okay, what hurts? Do you want something warm or cold to drink? How are you feeling? Do you want to go outside or inside? What makes it better or worse? So, like a child that wants the windows open or wants to be outside, and maybe their symptoms resolve when they're outside, then that calls for pulsatilla, I believe. So, you're really looking at these unique symptoms. How to choose your remedy. Highlight the key symptom that you notice is different. Choose a few of them that fit your symptoms. I always Google it right away. There's some great websites that can help. Cross off the ones that don't match and look for the most glaring symptom. Don't rush. Purchase, ideally, I would say don't purchase from Amazon because you don't know how long the remedy has been sitting around. I put a link to Fullscript on my website. I feel more comfortable purchasing from them, that they're storing the remedies in a cool place. If the remedy is overheated for too long, it may not work. So that's another unique thing to look for, is that it's been on the shelf for too long. You may have chosen the right remedy, but the remedy is no longer good. Then that is challenging, because you think you've chosen the right remedy and then it's not working for you. It may be because it got wet, or it's sitting along, or it got too hot. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm now suggesting clients go to Fullscript and create an account rather than purchasing on Amazon. Alternatively, you can go to a local store and purchase from them. So download the Repertoizing cheat sheet within Home Remedies for Children to help guide you in choosing your remedy. The highest ideal of cure is the speedy, gentle, and enduring restoration of health by the most trustworthy and least harmful way. So here are two of my favorites, the Materia Medica by William Borak, and that is really complete and thorough. It might be a bit overwhelming. The Homeopathic Emergency Guide is great as well. Here's some additional references to look at. Pika Trenkel teaches in New York City and may be going online soon. Dr. Aviva Ram, I've also learned from. And then I do love Miranda Castro's Homeopathy for Pregnancy, Birth, and Your Baby's First Year. That was pretty amazing too when my kids were young. So go ahead, take a screenshot of that so you have those references. And always trust your instincts. If it doesn't feel right, of course, go to the doctor or stop dosing. You always want to trust your mama gut. So to learn more, join my free 5-day email challenge to boost your child's immunity with herbs and homeopathic medicine. And then you'll have instant access to the Home Remedies for Children's course. At about day 6, you'll receive an offer with the best rate to join the course. And within the course, I cover the most common symptoms your child experiences from age really infant to age 10 or so, but particularly between ages 2 and 6 is when our children really get sick the most. So within the course, I am covering herbal and homeopathic remedies for coughs, earaches, teething, and congestion, and all the common symptoms your children will experience. So if you love herbs and homeopathy, join the challenge to get access to the course at its best rate. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out at hello@taragregorio.com. Thank you.